Just changed into my paint clothes.
In today's adventure, Kirk takes on an upgrade to my dad's backyard putting green.
I typically will buy a new tool for every project.
And then we head over to my friend's house to help her start her vision of her dream backyard.
What are you wearing?
My work clothes.
This is your building clothes?
It's fashion.
I still have quite a lot to learn along the way, but as always, Kirk has endless patience.
We're battling with this canopy shade. It's a bit tricky.
He's got me, the handiest woman ever.
Show off.
I'm not showing off yet.
Well, I thought that a tool belt was like fashion for building.
No.
And in the end, I think they both turn out really good.
Alright, so here's all the old stuff, the old bench and the front trim. The new stuff here, there's a dado cut, a piece of wood there where the LEDs are gonna fit underneath. There's 2x4s right here. And then fence pickets underneath right here. It will be the front and side trims. So we'll chop these into 16-inch pieces. We use the router to round over the edge so it's a soft corner when you sit on it. We'll frame the bench out of that and we will trim the putting green with the dado cut, and we'll install voice activated strip LED lighting. I'm gonna switch into my paint clothes right now and I'm gonna stain all this. I'm gonna pre-stain everything. Back here on the grass, I'm gonna use my airless sprayer. Probably use a 515 tip to lay it down thick. Just stain this stuff today and then shore up the framing and then probably do some cutting. We'll frame out the seat so we know the heights for the trim pieces, and then we'll cut to length all of the trim pieces. We'll route them over, install them, and in a nutshell, that'll be the project. Just changed into my paint clothes, my gloves, my painting gloves, and painting equipment. So here's the setup. I got the airless sprayer, the hose coming around to here. I'm gonna be using a spray gun. I'm gonna use the extension just because I'm standing up, makes it easier. The tip guard, and then I'm gonna use the 311 tip on these smaller ones so that I don't get overspray here. And then I'm gonna use the 511 tip on those guys there so that I don't have to do so many passes. And then I'm gonna back brush with this guy right here. Once you lay it down, run it into the grain. I'm using Olympic Maximum Redwood Natural Tone, and that's the matching stain for this pergola. This will go up as the background. All the wood will be cut and then stained. Got the router right there, job site set up. Got the table saw here. And we got the miter saw here. The birds aren't gonna like it. This is their feeding ground right here. You can hear them and see them flying around, so. Alright, the first step I'm gonna do here is to shore up some of this framing here. Some of this stuff here. This here, I'm gonna tie it into the fence and just kind of tighten it up a bit, give it some more structural integrity. I'm gonna leave all of the framing underneath because there's no real dry rot or anything, and it's a low level bench, so let's just leave the framing and then trim it all out. I roughed this in yesterday, and I'm gonna use the router and I'm gonna round over this edge right here so that it rolls over smooth and transitions into that. And then I'll probably secure this, dress this whole side up. And then we'll work on trimming and LEDing the remainder of the putting green. I bought this biscuit joiner for this job. I typically will buy a new tool for every project, but this one is useful for this project because I bought pre-cut dado, basically fence top or fence bottom, and I used that as the trim, and I could only get it in 8-foot sections. So I have some 16-foot long sections and some 10-foot long sections. Anyway, there's butt joints on the golf area, and so this biscuit joinery here is going to help strengthen it so that it doesn't want to separate or become uneven over time. So these are the butt joints here. You got the miter over there, which I'll probably biscuit join, and then there's this here. So hopefully the biscuit joinery keeps it nice and flush. There's also another joint right here. It terminates down here with miters. So, yep, that's what this tool is for. Alright, so I'm set up out here. I got the sawhorses up. Just made a quick little table here. Now, this is the first joint I'm going to do here. I have these little spacers, essentially to keep this from rocking forward. So the spacer's not there, it can rock forward. And I'll use that as the underside joint. So I'll have the biscuit joint going in here, and then I'll also strap it with this to keep it from wanting to rock forward.
We're just packing up our utility vehicle to go help our friends put together a pergola. Our little Prius fits everything. Never lets us down. Okay, what are we doing today?
I'm going to assemble that pergola, pre-made, so it's not custom work. Assembly work, but the main thing we're gonna have to do is figure out the best way to secure it to this concrete slab.
So we just get to put it together like an IKEA cabinet?
Yeah, and then we may have to use the hammer drill and get some hardware to sink into the concrete.
So we have to like put holes in the concrete?
Presumably.
Can we use Gorilla Glue?
Velcro.
And until our friends get back to help, he's got me. The handiest woe man ever. I even brought my work boots.
a build. But it doesn't come with any.
I mean, I don't doubt that Kirk can do it without instructions. He worked on airplanes, but it just makes it easier. Right?
Yeah, I could do it off the picture for sure, but just the sizing of the fasteners, it's nice to know beforehand. We'll do it either way.
Doing some instructions recon, seeing if we can't get a little bit of help online before we start. Otherwise, we'll just have to figure it all out. We will figure it out, meaning I will be amazing moral support while Kirk figures it out.
That's pretty much correct.
I just have to declare my not victory, but good moment. We were looking for the instructions and Kirk was looking up by SKU and all the things that matter. And then I typed in, cause your pergola instructions, and it was the first one that came up. Sometimes it pays to not know what you're looking for. Not often, but this time.
Show off.
I'm not showing off yet.
Flipping your hammer and everything. Getting off like a bartender, carpenter.
I don't even have my tool belts on yet.
Ooh, the tool belt. Just wait till it gets on the tool belt, folks.
I didn't bring the tool belt.
You didn't bring it? That's the best part of working is work boots and the tool belt.
It's just assembly. I'm not having measuring or cutting or marking or squaring or doing anything.
But it's so cute. How's anybody gonna know you're building anything without a tool belt on?
I'm not drilling, sawing, measuring, cutting. I'm not doing any carpentry. It's
Well, I
just
thought that
assembly.
a tool belt was like fashion for building.
No. It's utility for building.
Well, for me, it's gonna be fashion.
I don't
That's-
doubt it.
Look at my tool belt. It's actually my purse, but I feel like it looks cool when we do stuff, so I wear it.
Man, every one of these bags has a hole in it.
Like pieces could have fallen out.
Yeah, they're labeled. Every one of them. It's so degraded. Everything fell out. I hope these aren't the concrete
Plastic?
to mount. Yeah,
You think they would give you plastic to go in concrete?
I think you drill it and then it's supposed to put this in, but I'm only guessing.
This is my kind of tool. I've used this before. Allen head. Is it an Allen head? Allen wrench.
Allen key.
Allen key.
This is how you do it.
Oh.
I did it.
What are you doing, Scoots?
I'm building
What are you wearing?
my work clothes.
This is your building clothes?
It's fashion. Yeah, these are my building clothes, and I got my tool belt. And this covers my butt, so I'm on site. I'm appropriate. And after a morning with just my help, Kirk was so happy when Alpha came home to lend a helping hand. And not only that, but we also got a couple cute tiny helpers to help us along the way. Once all the assembly was done with all the small parts, they were able to pop the pergola up in no time. Can you clean it up for us? Thank you.
We're battling with this canopy shade because the instructions are terrible and it's a bit tricky. Well, we figured it out and it's about to be done.
Okay. Oh, you're about to be done?
Except for securing it to concrete, which we'll probably do tomorrow.
Okay.
Push it this way. Push. Ah, thank you. Good job. High five, man. Good job.
When's the job done, Kirk?
When it's cleaned up.
You did it. Let's do another one.
Because you're short. You get it? Good job.
All right. And after a long day, I think everyone was satisfied with the outcome. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And join us on Patreon.